What's up, hybrids? Welcome back to another episode of the Fandom Hybrid Podcast. This is Hanako, and I am here with Casey, and we are discussing the return of the final 8 episodes of The Walking Dead.
Yay!
Yay and boo, because
And
I
boo.
do not want this show to end.
No.
And yay, because we get a new episode. And
Yay.
goddamn, I will say this episode was worth the wait.
It was.
It's like, I feel like they decided, oh, okay, you know what? What are we going to do different for our last 8 episodes? Yeah, let's start off with a blast to the past, with a tribute to the past, with this nice little voiceover by Judith Grimes. I was like, wait, girl, when that episode opened up and you see Rick Grimes in the hospital, I paused. I said, hold up, y'all didn't tell me I was going to have to be emotionally prepared from 2 seconds in.
Yes.
I was looking at this TV like, oh, okay.
And then showing him waking up. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. Hey, young Rick.
I was like, wait. So this is what we're doing, and then you get her talking about the way that the world was and how it looked like the dead was going to take over, and that's just the way it was going to be. And then you have the people who were doing good and you have the people who are doing evil, so you get flashbacks of all of these people. You get flashbacks of Shane and of the governor, and I was just like, are we getting this every single episode? And then I found out we are getting that kind of tribute or that kind of intro for every single episode. I was like,
okay, because I saw my boo in there.
Okay. I was just like, okay, so that means I'm gonna have to have a box of tissue next to me while I'm watching these episodes, just so I can be prepared for whatever it is they're about to do. Because I was really scared for this episode. I was like, I heard rumors that there was like a major death in the first 2 episodes, and I was like, they kill any of our people, which I know somebody's gonna have to die, but I was like, not yet. It's too early. It's too early. Don't do it yet. So I sat here worried the whole episode, like, who's about to die? Who's about to die? Luckily, nobody that we cared about died in this episode, so that's a good thing. But I was worried with everything that's going on. I was like, y'all got way too much shit going on. Y'all got stuff going on in the woods. Like, Hornsby is still trying. Dude, you are not going to catch Daryl and Maggie. Just let it go. Just let it go. Stop trying to chase them. You keep worrying about a radio signal that you can't get so you can warn the people at home. Just take your ass home. At this point, just take your ass home. Because there is no way you're going to get Daryl and you're not going to get Maggie.
Not easily at all. It's gonna take too much. They too smart. Number one, they too smart. Number two, they done been through so many villains, and all the villains are one-dimensional, where I gotta get them, no matter what the cost, I gotta get them.
Right.
And they done been through that.
And then now you have Daryl and Maggie, and they done teamed up with Aaron and Gabriel and Negan and Annie. And I was like, I kind of like this dynamic. This is a deadly dynamic here.
Yes.
I like this. So, anyway, Lance is trying to find them. They're hiding out. They hear somebody coming into the little place where they're hiding out. And of course, like I said, it's Aaron and Gabriel. And they're like, hey, look who we found in this. Negan and Annie. And of course, Maggie is freaking out because Herschel is not with them, but they're like, no, he's with Ezekiel. I mean, he's with Elijah. He's safe. Okay. Because if y'all had to leave her child with somebody, at least you left him with somebody that he knew and trusted.
Right.
But I always figured Negan is not going to be the one to sit behind and just kind of let everybody else take on the danger.
Right.
While he's sitting back. One, that's not him. Two, he wants to be, busting some balls somewhere. What was it he said? We came to help you with Dickless and no, what did he say? We came to help you with that bothers me. Something in the Dickless brigade. And I was like, These damn Neganisms.
He's gonna be Negan to the end, though.
We need to have that on the shirt.
To the end.
Right. And then of course Annie is not gonna let him go anywhere by himself. So I was like, okay. So we're gonna see how this goes. But I'm down for this. I'm down for this team up because now they're trying to decide. They're like, okay, well, we need to go home and warn people. And then half of them are like, no, we need to stay here and kill Hornsby. Like Maggie is on we need to kill Hornsby before he gets to our people. No, let's go ahead and kill him. Negan is the same way. And so is Aaron. And Gabriel's like, no, we need to go home and warn our people. We need to warn our families. Daryl's like, hold up. We can actually do this. We can do both things. Because they ain't never seen your face before. And Negan was like, oh, you give me something to play with. I like that. I felt like it was kind of like what Carol did when she sent him to the Whisperers. Because of course the Whisperers, you know, they had their spy, Dante. So of course he's going back telling them what's going on in the community. So all she knows of Negan is that he's their prisoner. So of course if he comes over there, he's like, yeah, I ain't got no kind of loyalty to them. Why would she think otherwise? Y'all have had him locked up for 7 years. So I felt like just in that same way, yeah, nobody in the Commonwealth knows Negan. They probably have never even heard his name because at this point, our people thought that they were probably done with him because he didn't come back. Right.
And everybody who touted I am Negan is gone.
Pretty much gone. So let's talk about this. So while the soldiers, the Commonwealth soldiers, are driving around in the area, they're looking for Daryl and Maggie because they don't know that anybody else is there right now. Their main focus is Daryl. But you have two of these soldiers get out of the car and start like shooting up walkers and stuff. And one of them gets attacked by a walker. Now, I know we said this in like some earlier episodes. We were like, why are you panicking? You have on the armor or the suit. I guess that damn suit ain't helping at all anymore because they tore into him
and tore him in half.
And I was just like, so I guess right. So I guess those suits are just pretty decoration now. I mean, I guess it gives some protection. Maybe if it's one-on-one.
Right. If it wasn't a horde of them.
And then when the other one starts trying to shoot to help save his friend, the one walker that walked down, I was like, oh, they taking stairs now? I didn't realize it was Negan until he did. I was like, oh, I remember. I recognize that move. He did the same thing.
Do Negan have the mask just somewhere on his person? Because he always pulls it out.
I think he keeps it on him because you never know when you're going to need it.
True. Because he will whip that bad boy out.
Because even if you're one, you have to remember, he ran back into our people kind of by accident. It wasn't something that he had planned. So if you're out, you're with a new community, you're in unfamiliar territory, you don't know what kind of people you're going to run into. I mean, think about it. He could have easily have run into the Reapers. Having that mask is kind of handy because he can blend in and escape. So yeah, I guess if I had one, I would keep it on me too. But he comes in, he slices that trooper, and he slides the gun, he slides the radio, and here comes Daryl. I was like, oh, y'all got this shit just all okay. I'm liking the team up. The car chase scene,
but not better than Rick and Daryl.
Of course not. But you know what? I've gotten to the point now where I won't start comparing them in that way as far as what's better, what's not, because all of these pair-ups, like we're used to seeing our regular pair-ups like Rick and Daryl,
Daryl and Carol,
Aaron and Gabriel, they're the core team ups that we're used to seeing. But like even with Aaron and Gabriel, like we knew they were a cool team, like they could fight well with each other. But until they did that episode that focused solely on them, I was like, oh, this is the bromance I need. This is the bond. This is the team up that I needed, that I didn't know I needed. So one of the things I've noticed is Negan has that kind of personality, and this is one of the reasons why he was what he was for the Saviors. He can get along with everybody. They may not like him, but they can get along with him in order to get things done. And that's one of the things that I think is valuable about Negan as a character. No matter how much people dislike him for whatever reasons, whether it's, because of the Glenn thing or just him in general, there are certain things about his character that make him vital and important. And it's one, his ability to adapt to every goddamn thing. He can go talk to you. He can go talk to your enemy. He can go talk to your enemy's enemy. And you won't know which way the wind is blowing with him, because he can sit there and be that chameleon and fit in and be like, oh, okay, this is what I need. This is what I need. But he's still going to have his same Neganisms. He's still going to have his attitude. I mean, just the way he met up with Mercer and the clever way that he did it. Mercer was like, do you know me? He was like, I had a friend on the outside who told me about you. She told me to come find you. Her name is April. And Mercer's like, wait, April, the girl who, wait, do you know what happened to April? And I think at that point he was kind of feeling him out. Like, okay, this doesn't feel like somebody, like, you didn't know April, but you know something about that situation.
Right.
Let me see what this is. Go get him some water. Hell, you know me. Who sent you?
Right.
And Negan doesn't miss a beat. He was like, you know who sent me? Daryl. And you see Mercer kind of change a little bit. He was like, yeah, some suit and tie with, these dickheads, they've been coming after us. And at that point, I think Mercer was like, oh, fuck. Like, he's been trying so hard to kind of steer clear of all this conflict. Now, you got to make a choice, but
it's in your face.
Because Lance is out there gunning for them people. But let me tell you, that car chase scene was awesome. That was fun.
I'm looking at the car chase like, oh, Griffin, because that was all through Griffin. All through Griffin. I'm like,
they had fun.
Yeah, they did.
Having fun. But let me tell you, Negan coming into the Commonwealth, that was interesting, but because of course he had only heard of the Commonwealth, what they had told him. So he's in and he's looking, he was just like, wow, this is what they did. Damn, I hate we finna have to bring all this shit down, but oh well.
Right. Because he was in awe, like,
wait, what?
Y'all did all this?
Right. And then Jerry's like, yo, dude, what are you doing here? I'm about to save your asses. Where's Carol? Now, here's the other thing. Negan and Carol, like, I know we're getting the Negan Maggie spinoff, and I'm cool with that because of the tension that's there between their characters. I think it'll make a really interesting watch, because how is it that you're going to be able to work with somebody that you despise and have despised for so long? Okay, I get that. I need to see more of Negan and Carol, because that is a team up. That is a partnership. Like, that is I could actually see those two becoming genuine friends, because in a lot of ways, I feel like they are alike in certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like, Carol is not naturally cruel, but she can be if she needs to be. She can get down and dirty to protect the people that she loves. Negan is the same way, whereas before it was him doing that a lot of times for selfish reasons. I think now he's doing it because of other things. He has Annie to think about. He has their baby to think about. But not only that, he has these people who, despite everything that he did and their history together, they have taken a chance and taken a leap of faith to say, okay, we think you've changed enough to leave you out of your cell, to have you be a contributing member of the community. Like, that goes a long way. And I think when it comes to Negan and Carol, the way that they work together, it's kind of like a Bonnie and Clyde, but without the romance. Like, he's the shit talker. He's the one that's been an asshole. She's the one that's just kind of like, okay, let's get this shit done. Okay, look, this is what we're going to do. We're about to do this. We're about to do this. Oh, so Lance is gunning for our people, but Pamela doesn't know about this yet. Oh, okay, yeah, we can use this to our advantage. Let me tell you how we're about to do. When she was sitting there talking about the plan and when they were looking for Sebastian and all that stuff that happened, I was like, how in the world did people underestimate Carol for so long? Like, how did you allow, how was she able to go into these communities and act like she was dumb as a bucket?
Because even Negan gave her ass props. Like, if this lady right here,
he was like, she is
vouch for your ass and you say she got your back, you better get on this bitch bandwagon. Because this is the truth right here, staring you in your damn face.
He said she can pull bunnies out of her ass.
And can.
I mean,
can.
Think about the things that she has done when nobody thought that there were. I mean, think about Terminus. Think about what happened with some of the saviors when they took her ring and when they pushed Henry. I mean, Carol can be a beast. And I know that's one of the things that she feared. That's one of the reasons why when she left the kingdom, she was like, I just want to be by myself. I don't want to go back home. I don't want to be here with y'all. I just need to be by myself and figure out who this is, because I don't want to be this person. I'm sorry, Carol, baby, you are that person. And we need that person, especially dealing with the likes of the Commonwealth. Because something tells me that even though Pamela Milton has made that little deal with them, I don't think that deal is going to stick. She's going to do something and she's going to try to fuck over our people. Absolutely. And it's going to be some issues, and I'm going to need Carol ready to whoop that ass.
Absolutely. So we already know deals don't fare too well in this new world. Because people will go back on their word quick as hell. Word don't mean shit.
And she a politician. Of course she's gonna go back on her word.
That part.
That's kind of what they do. But it is nice to see most of our people. I would like to see more, but for right now, we got to see Kelly and Connie and Magna and Yumiko, and Magna and Yumiko were actually together and talking, and not, you know, you can still tell, like, the way that the characters were, you could still tell how they are on the opposite side of things as far as the class structure in the Commonwealth. You have Yumiko in her nice suit and her nice leather shoes with her briefcase, and, you know, immaculately coiffed. And then you have Magna over here, messy bun. She's got a sweater with holes in it. Her pants have got holes in it. She's got on shoes that are untied. She's very comfortable, but at the same time, they're still very comfortable with each other, and the way that they're, you know, interacting with each other. It's not like one feels that they're above the other or one feels like they're below the other. This is just where they ended up. And I think a lot of where Magna ended up was because, like Yumiko said, you knew what this place was from jump. You know, Magna was like, yeah, too good to be true. Probably a reason.
Ever since the party, when she ended up as a server.
Yeah. But I think maybe even before that, because remember, the way that they assign people jobs is they do that whole intake thing where they ask them questions about what they did before. And that was something that, you know, I thought about when I was doing a rewatch of some things last week, and watching the episode where Deanna was interviewing Rick. And when she asked him, what did you do before? And he was like, does it matter? And she was like, yes, it matters. It matters a great deal. And she started talking about how they had people to help build the wall and this, that, and the other. She was like, yeah, what you did before matters a great deal. And that reminded me of Deanna when, you know, all of this, because of the way that they intake people and then they assign people based on what they did. And I mean, that's probably what Magna did before the world fell. But you could have gave her something else. But, you know, she probably didn't want it. Like, yeah, you know what? I don't want to be any more indebted to y'all than I have to be, because as soon as y'all fix our house, we gone.
I'm out.
We gone. But, you know, they're sitting there talking about their plans, like, okay, so this is what we need to do. We need to kind of keep an eye out. We need to make an extra exit strategy and figure out how we're going to get out of if things go bad. Because at this point, Shira and I can't remember what the dude's name, the one that, you know, Eugene thought had kidnapped Stephanie, not Stephanie. They done came looking for Daryl, or they done came looking for Carol, because a little bit of Lance's message has come through, you know, and they're like, okay, we don't know what he said, but we know he said Dixon. So they come to the apartment looking for Carol and the kids, and they're all hiding, but it's a dangerous situation. And then, of course, at this point, they're going into hiding. Jerry is, you know, Karen has told Jerry, okay, you know what? I need you to hide the kids. I need you to get word to everybody else. Look, we need to start being ready. We need to start getting ready in case something happens. So I like the fact that we get to see all of this, like all of our people starting to get together, trying to figure this thing out. Because I was like, yeah, you got protests in the streets. Give us Sebastian. Give us Sebastian. I was like, this is about to get real ugly real quick. But our people are together. And they know, okay, so some things going on out there. Okay, they're going to handle that.
You know what this reminded me of when everybody was together?
What?
It reminded me of the prison. How everybody was together one last time before the shit hit the fan and everybody got scattered their own separate ways. Literally put me in that mindset. Right. Like, oh, some shit about to happen. Because what was it? Their good moments never really last that long. So you got moments of everybody being together, but then you also have, it's about to be some bullshit. Yeah.
But one thing about this that I really liked, so we get to see Rosita interacting with the group, and that was kind of rare for a while because she's one of the Commonwealth soldiers now. But the thing is, she sees Mercer, and Mercer's like, you're not in uniform. She's like, it's a personal day. He was like, not today, not with all this going on. He was like, I need you out there. The fact that you have all of these people that you have served with in the Commonwealth for as long as you've been there, but that's the person that you trust. That's the person that you're like, yeah, if I'm going out here doing this, I need you on my team to have my back. I was like, yeah, you know what? Mercer's totally about to become one of the Grimes family. He's about to. I mean, Max is pretty much already thrown in her lot.
Yeah.
So, and even when all this stuff is going down, and Pamela in her damn speech on the intercom talking about, we will bring the perpetrator.
You can't even go outside and talk to the people.
I know my son, and this is not something he would do. That's what the parents of all serial killers say. That's what the parents of all mass murderers say. I never thought he would kill anybody.
He was just so quiet.
Like, have you not paid attention to who your son is?
No. Because she lets him do whatever he wants. He flitters around the goddamn Commonwealth as if he's can't be touched. Remember when Eugene pushed him in the fucking face? Right. How dare you touch me?
Yeah.
But you don't care what he's doing. And he even so much as said it. Remember when they was out in the field with Mercer and Daryl, and he was trying to kill the walker, and the mom came, and she came walking past? Yeah. Even then. Yeah. Like, you don't know what your kid out here doing. You care about him enough for appearances.
Right.
You don't care about that boy.
But I want to know what the time frame is on this, because Lance's cheek, even though it's not closed up, it doesn't look like it's a fresh wound.
Right. It starts scabbing over.
And he's talking quite normally for someone who got shot in the face. So I was like, okay, maybe this has been a couple of weeks, or it might have been a couple of days, but I'm just kind of curious.
I would say a couple of days because the wound is still fat. And you can see, you know how it probably 2 or 3 days, because within 2 or 3 days you still got that scab that's still kind of fleshy over the top. It's not that real hard, thick layer of crust. So he still had, it was still kind of fresh. So he been looking for him for a couple of days.
Let me tell you, Daryl done took a chunk out your cheek. He done shot your ass in the shoulder. And then you
keep messing with this man. He ain't gave you a clue that he want to be left alone. Those are clues. I'm just saying.
I'm like I said at the beginning of this recording, he just needs to leave Daryl and Maggie alone. Just leave them alone. This ain't what you want.
It's not a fight you can win.
This is not what you want. Like you think you know what you're doing. You do not know. These people have been on their own for 10 years. They have lived out there in the rough. Just leave them alone. Leave them alone.
Make it. You ain't gonna make it.
He gonna learn. He gonna
But
learn.
he clearly finds out that they ain't nothing to play with. And not even just them, any of them, anybody in that group, no matter what type of alliance they show to you, going to get you some wine, going outside the gates, make sure you have to present this great face for Pamela, they gonna stick by each other's side. I don't give a damn what you saying, what you doing. That's why Carol is the master of disguise, because I'm gonna listen to you. I'm gonna get the information that I need to make sure my people are okay. So if I see this boy go in this building, I know he in there somewhere. He's in there somewhere. So guess what we about to do? We about to get this little leverage and find where he at. And so when they find him, he in there drunk and sleep. Get your ass up.
Do you know who I am? And he was like, oh, do you know who I am? I was like, dude, you really don't. You really, really don't. Okay, so we're back. We had a small disturbance. I guess the Commonwealth got tired of Casey talking about them, and they blinked her lights in her neighborhood.
It's even power.
So anyway, we're back. But I don't remember what we were talking about, but that's okay. Let's see. Jerry is the best babysitter ever, because he was like, I'm gonna keep these kids safe. Let's get up on this fire escape and let me. I was like, how does this guy not?
Big ass.
But the fire escape was a little bit higher than I thought it was. I was like, okay, from the angle that they showed us from the camera. Okay, I guess. Because
I was like, and he gonna try to scoot. Boy, you cannot tuck nothing. And you know what? Okay, but we gonna believe it for Walking Dead world. But
that's okay.
Jerry,
he's keeping the baby safe. That's all I care about. Because for all
them to be squished in one little space. And you know what I'm saying? Literally, all he would have had to do was like this, a quick lean back.
I don't think they do. I think he's like, I don't want to worry about these kids. I want to go kill some people. I want to go get some big people. I don't care about these kids. Whatever. Daryl ain't.
But he the one that took the picture off the refrigerator. And where that picture come from?
That's the picture that was taken. You remember the first episode where they were in the Commonwealth and they were in the scary house? And there was a picture taken right before they exited. That's what that picture is.
Okay.
Because I wondered that too. I was like, when did that? I was like, oh, that's the scary house picture.
Okay.
Because
I was questioning
house picture.
Like who take a picture and then stick it on the refrigerator, but
I mean, Daryl is so domestic now because he has like, he's got the picture of him and the kids on the fridge and he's got the drawings on the fridge. I was like, oh, Daryl's a proper daddy now.
Daddy dear, Uncle Daryl.
Uncle Daryl, Uncle Aaron. And let me say this. Gracie is like one of my favorite child characters because what I tell you, she loves her daddy. And she's just like, my daddy can cook no matter where he is. I was like, oh, look at you. I love her. If y'all kill Grace, I'm telling y'all, because people have been online talking about, at first people were talking about how Aaron might get Rick's death, especially because he really favors Rick in the comics. And I was like, y'all better not speak that into existence, because if Aaron dies, I'm gonna be so heartbroken. I'm gonna be so pissed. But even more so, if y'all do anything to that goddamn baby Gracie,
you're gonna hate what I have to say about the next episode. But I'll hold it in.
Yes, yeah. But if y'all do anything to that doggone Gracie, I'm gonna be really mad. Now, I love her
because they're gonna need to keep the kids for once they run out of all the Rick Grimes show, once they run out of the Daryl show, the Carol show, the Negan, the kids gonna have to grow up. Whatever happened to Judith and RJ? So now Judith and RJ will have a show. Gracie will be the sidekick.
I'm down.
So the kids are like they are setting up their future. The Walking Dead ain't gonna end. The Walking Dead turning into 50 Cent. He's spending all this off spending it all into all of these things, and then we're gonna get the origin of Rick before the world ended when Rick was a baby, and then we're gonna get Shane's backstory, and then it's so much that can happen. Hell, we might even get a Morales. What happened when he was gone before he became back? From the time he left to the time he came back as Negan. What happened to Morales?
I don't need to know Morales' the story. I would like, going back, looking through, doing my YouTube deep dives, I would still like to find out exactly what happened to the Vatos, because there was that deleted scene where we saw that somebody came in and basically killed everybody. I want to know what happened.
Wait, what did they say?
There's a deleted scene that shows Rick and them. This is after the CDC. They come back and they're trying to find some place safe to stay, and they decide, oh, well, you know what? We do have friends in the city. Let's go see if we can, kind of hold up with them until we figure out what we're going to do. And when they get there, everybody is walkers. Everybody has been killed. All the old people have been killed, and they were all shot execution style. The old people were. Some of the other people, they were there as zombies. So somebody obviously came in, took all of their stuff, took the guns that Rick gave them, and killed everybody. Yeah, there was a deleted scene that I found out about this like maybe 3 years ago, and then somebody mentioned it on Twitter a few nights ago, and I was like, oh yeah, let me go back and look at that, because I was like, I think the question on Twitter I think the question on Twitter was, is there anyone from the first season that we kind of sort of are not sure of what happened to, that you would like to know what happened to them? And I was like, did we ever see Hector's body? I don't think we did. Did we ever see what the other guy's name was? I was like, I don't think we ever saw their bodies. So I went back to look at that scene just to be sure, and I think it was because they ended up staying there overnight. So yeah, I'll send you the link to that afterwards. Yeah, I'm just like, there's so many things that they could do as far as story wise now, depending on what people want to see, because remember, that's what we thought Tales of the Walking Dead was going to be. It was going to be anthology series, we thought, with people that we were familiar with, and then it turns out the only person we were familiar with in those 6 episodes was Alpha and Lydia. But if they do a second season, they could still go that way. I mean, I remember at one point they talked about doing background stories on like Sasha and Tyrese, which I would love. I would love to see more Sasha and Tyrese on my screen. Now, are they gonna be not busy enough to do it? I don't know, because both of them are very busy right now. But I would love to see those kinds of stories. But yeah, I would love to see something in the future as far as with the kids. I mean, because we already see that the kids could carry a show if the show was written the right way. I mean, we saw that with The World Beyond. You know, the first season, it was kind of slow and it was kind of still feeling its legs, but they had a really good second season, you know, and we got to learn a lot. And you know, those kids, I'm like, excuse me, can I see my babies? Like, can we see them again? So yeah, I could do with a series.
And they would have to do something with Judith, because Judith has literally been there since the beginning. Literally.
Like, she's first generation zombie apocalypse.
That part.
And same with Gracie.
Yeah.
Because Judith and Gracie are only maybe a year, maybe 2 years, or maybe a few years apart. But they're not that different in age. So yeah, I can see it. And I mean, I would love to see, like, we see Gracie right now. She is your typical little girl. She's very sweet natured. She's very soft spoken.
Still very naive.
I don't even want to say if it's naive, but I think Aaron has probably sheltered her a little bit too much. Yeah. Not wanting her to get her hands dirty, which I can understand that too. But at some point she's gonna have to learn to fight. And I want to see.
Remember the basement.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. At some point she's gonna have to learn. And Judith can teach her, but I mean, all I'm saying, we went around that long dissertation just for me to say, don't y'all fucking touch Gracie. Don't touch her. Leave her alone. Leave her alone. Leave her alone.
Don't nobody say nothing bad about Miss Jenkins.
Sorry. Oh my goodness. Anyway, but going back to our people and going back to the way, you know, we were talking about them and how they're kind of banding together to kind of prepare for what's about to happen, and just about Lance underestimating our group, like leaving them alone. Somebody who's not underestimating them is Pamela Milton. Because with all this stuff going on with the newspaper, and now, you know, the citizens of the Commonwealth are protesting. They want Sebastian locked up. They want justice. They want vengeance. And Pamela says to Yumiko, she was like, so your friend Connie, she wouldn't happen to know who wrote that. And Yumiko is like, I mean, she doesn't bat an eyelash. It would surprise me if she did. And Pamela Milton's looking at her like,
okay, motherfucker.
Right. That was the look. That was the look, but she's the politician. She can't express herself in that way. But that was definitely the look. You lying bitch. You know your friend did.
Side eye.
Right. Because nobody thought about slandering my name until y'all got here. But Pamela, people didn't like you before. Our people are just not afraid to call people out on their bullshit.
At all. At all.
We done been through too damn much.
Let me open your eyes to what you have not been seeing. Because I'm going to show you today. You're going to find out today.
Now, the one thing that I did not see in this episode that I would have loved to have seen, but maybe there's a reason why they didn't do it. So while Negan and Carol did go in together and find Sebastian, and they were working together to get like the blueprints and everything, he didn't come with Carol to turn Sebastian in. So he didn't meet Pamela Milton. I just want to be a fly on the wall when that meeting happens, because she's gonna be her usual tough self and trying to be all politically correct, and Negan is just gonna be dropping F-bombs like nobody's business. And supposedly,
girl, and did you hear the cussing? You heard the cussing.
Oh, that's not it. Apparently, they have kind of relaxed the F-bomb rule for these last 8 episodes. So we're going to be hearing a lot more of the F-bomb.
They giving them. They is giving them.
I said, told Andy, he was like, I'm fucked either way. I can stay here and fight, or I can go there and fight. Either way it goes, I'm fucked. I was like, oh, hello there.
Hey, Mr. F-bomb.
Right.
Sure.
Now, here's another question I have. So when the people are in the streets and Pamela Milton, she gets on the walkie-talkie and she says something like B14. I was like, that's a command of some kind of protocol she wants them to enact. And I don't know if that was the lockdown. It probably was. But I just find it very convenient that this large ass horde is just all of a sudden coming to the Commonwealth. Like, y'all have never dealt with anything this big before. It's obvious from the way that your soldiers are behaving, from the way your soldiers are acting, and the way your soldiers are getting themselves caught and split into half like a damn banana split. Y'all have not dealt with this before in all of the time that y'all have been there.
Mm-mm.
I just wonder,
probably not nothing on that scale. Because remember, they did have walkers when they were training. They had some walkers in the little building tied up or whatever. And then remember, Eugene was clearing walkers from wherever the hell they had.
Yeah, but like a horde like this?
No, ma'am.
I mean, they had a horde like this down in those houses that Sebastian was sending the people to. But that's why I was like, I feel like that horde was purposefully directed towards the Commonwealth, maybe so that Pamela can say, oh, look at all we're doing to keep you safe, to like shift the narrative, make people forget about Sebastian and be like, oh yeah, don't forget, we have these big walls, we have this army, we're keeping you safe from this horde. You guys don't have to deal with this. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, it's way too convenient for a horde to be coming in now.
Right. And y'all been chilling for months, years.
Y'all been chilling. Y'all might get a walker here, y'all might get a walker there, y'all might have.
But short of like with when Alexandria, remember they didn't have a lot of walkers, only because we later found out about the quarry and the truck that was holding them in. They don't have that. They just got free roaming walkers. But you are right. What now? What happened now to now say, oh, we're gonna, because as long as you quiet and ain't keeping up a ruckus, you're not gonna have this large ass horde.
But here's the other thing that I noticed. So while I was watching the episode and they start showing the horde, they started the camera kind of started panning up into the air to show the horde, and then to also show the background. That city is fucking huge. So I'm going to go back to what I said towards the beginning of this season with the Commonwealth. There is no way the fucking CRM does not know about this place, or that they don't know about each other. And I have a feeling we said this before. When we were talking about Lance and his outside resources and stuff, Lance has connections in the CRM.
Which is where Rick is.
Yes.
So that's the way to tie it back in together.
But I've been saying this since the beginning of season 11.
Yes.
And I've been saying this since The World Beyond came on, especially with second season. I was like, there's no way you're going to tell me Rick is not a part of the CRM right now, and he's probably there against his will, but for the protection of his family. But you cannot tell me that a city that big, again, think about it. The Commonwealth is 50,000 people. What we have been seeing on screen and what we've seen our people interact with, that's probably only a tenth 1/100th of the community of the Commonwealth. There was a fucking wall around it. And I looked at it, I was like, oh, that looks familiar. Where have I seen a wall like that before? Omaha, right before the CRM bombed it.
So guess what's gonna happen? Guess. At the end, they all gonna die.
No, they are not. I don't know about them Commonwealth people, but I will say this too. I will say this. Our people do have a different, they do have a different perspective on it, because they could be like, oh, okay, you know what? We need to go home. We can just leave. But Magna and Rosita and all of them, they're like, no, we don't want to leave. We need to help these people. These people need help. So I like that kind of evolution with them, because you remember at Alexandria, you remember Rick was like, yeah, we.
How many of you do we have to kill?
Yeah. Or what was the other thing that he said at the beginning? He was like, we'll give them some time to adjust, but things are going to have to change around here if everybody's going to survive. And if not, we'll just take this place from them. I rewatched that episode a couple of days ago, and I was like, damn, you know what? He really did sound like some of our villains, if you think about it. But again, that's our leader. Those are our people. So yeah, we want you to do what you're supposed to do to make sure our people are safe. Now, if somebody else decides to have that same attitude and comes for our people, then no, your ass got to go. But it's all a matter of perspective. But again,
which we've always said since the beginning, because had we gotten somebody else's story from the other way, Rick and them would be the bad guy in every situation, because y'all done came in, y'all done fucked up Woodbury, y'all done fucked up the Sanctuary, y'all done fucked up they fucked up Oceanside, and them the good guys. Yeah, but Terminus, everywhere y'all go, y'all is fucking shit up. Like, maybe y'all are the bad guys.
No, because again, I feel like
they trying to survive. That part I get.
One, they are trying to survive, but also two, when you come across people who are full of shit, and you got a leader of a group who ain't with the shits, then
who gonna win out?
Right.
Sure. You're right. You're absolutely correct.
But yeah, so I was looking at that, and I was like, that is a huge ass wall. That is a huge, like, you can still see skyscrapers, maybe not very tall ones, but you can see skyscrapers in the background. There was a lake in the background, all behind the wall. But I was like, yeah, there's no way you're going to tell me that this horde coming up was a sudden thing. That horde was led there. I really feel like that horde was led there, and she was the one that had somebody do it. May not have been Lance, because he's not around. She's got somebody else doing her dirty work for her. So that's going to be interesting. But again, if that comes out, Mercer is completely done with the Commonwealth, especially after he just had to sit here and watch one of his soldiers get torn apart in his hands while they're trying to.
He looked shocked, like he ain't never seen this shit before.
I don't think he's ever seen it to that extent. Like, and I will say this too, and maybe this is the lead up to the whole smart walker or variant walker thing that we've seen in the trailer. These walkers seem way more savage in the way that they're moving, in the way that they are.
Because they got directly in between the gap of the top and the bottom. You know to go right here.
Like, we done figured this out, and I don't know if maybe it was just them pulling, and it just happened to be, oh, this is the soft spot. This is the money spot.
And my question has been since the beginning: when did the walkers get claws? How you just breaking skin open? Because if I do like this on your arm, I'm not just finna break your skin open. I don't give a fuck how strong I do it. I would have to puncture your skin in order to be able to rip you apart. So even if I came up to you right now and grabbed your that's all, I'm gonna make you ashy. That's all I'm
Well,
do.
you know what? Okay. This may be totally off base, but this is just the way my mind thinks. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So given that scenario, you and me or you and somebody else, y'all are fighting or whatever, you grab and whatever. You are still mentally aware that this is a living person. And no matter what your situation is, like even if you're in a fight, unless you're fighting for your life, even in fighting, you're not looking to do permanent damage. That's the way I'm looking at it. That's that humanity piece. Like, yes, I may be fighting with you, but I'm not looking to kill you unless you are actually like physically harming me to the point where I need to kill to defend myself. But that's not anybody's nature to just automatically, oh, I'm gonna fight you, I'm going in for the kill. With a walker, they don't have that brain function, and they don't have that they can't discern from a living person, dead person in that sense. They're not thinking, oh, I don't want to hurt you. They're not thinking anything at all. So maybe there's nothing holding them back from using whatever force they have. And we know the walkers are strong. I mean, they're damn near indestructible unless you get them in the brain. Think about it. You could pull them apart and pieces of them are still going to be moving as long as it's connected to the brain. So I think it could be something just as simple as that, if that can be considered simple. But I'm like, if I'm sitting here fighting with somebody, if I'm grabbing them, I'm not necessarily looking to grab to pull skin off or to claw them or to mark them or something like that.
Right.
If you are a mindless being and the only thing that your body knows how to do is hunt and eat, you don't have that barrier telling you, oh, I'm not supposed to do this kind of harm to this person.
Right.
True. That's the only thing I can think of. Because other than that, all you know is this is a person, this is food in your face. Think about wild animals that have been starved and you put a piece of meat in front of them. They're going to go at it and tear at it. They're not going to.
But they have claws. So that they have claws. The walkers got fingers.
They got fingers, but you know what? If those walkers are strong enough, I don't know.
Can break through skin because they be ripping these motherfuckers in half.
Like, I mean, think about it. They've brought down horses. We've seen them bring down horses. So they have to be strong. True. They have to be strong.
And then
they've taken down deers. Deer are fast. Horses are fast. These walkers don't run. Remember, we had running walkers all the way in the beginning. These walkers now don't run.
But now we're going to get back to turning doorknob walker.
Okay, so about that. And I'm going to be honest. I have not been reading anything about the quote unquote variant walkers. I haven't been listening to a lot of dialogue about them because I just want to see how they're going to present that in the story. Because again, at the beginning, to me, it made sense for the walkers to have more human-like attributes because this was still in the beginning. And I feel like maybe at the beginning, they did retain a little bit of their humanity, even though they were dead. Think about the little girl that Rick encountered. She bent down to pick up a teddy bear. Why would she do that if she's this mindless zombie? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I feel like that made sense more so in the beginning, especially it's still 2-3 months in. So a lot of the people who are dead and who are up reanimated, they've only been doing this anywhere from a couple of days to a couple of months, no more than 3 months, because Rick had been in the coma for 3 months before Morgan found him and then he found his family.
Right.
So it makes that kind of thing. Jenny trying to, do the doorknob and her looking in the peephole trying to see, that kind of thing I feel like makes sense for back then. For now, we're 10, 11, 12, I don't know exactly how many years now, but we are more than 10 years into this apocalypse. Unless there's a new strain, which how?
Right.
Unless there's a new strain, I don't understand how these new quote unquote variant walkers are existing.
Right.
Unless again, it is one of those situations where these are walkers that are recently killed and may still have some muscle memory of being a human or something. I don't know. But just like that one hand in the trailer where you see climbing the fence, I was like, how the fuck are they doing that?
Right.
Like, I would think, I'm gonna be honest, if it was me and I started seeing this, I would think that there's some more whisperers out there who've started another horde. That would be my thought. That would be my thought. Like, no, it's not the zombies. These have to be more whisperers, or there has to be some kind of plausible explanation, because you can't tell me that these walkers are going back to the same behavior they had when this whole thing started. To me, that does not make sense. Even scientifically. Now, I'm not going to profess to know a whole lot about science. Science was not my best subject in school, but that just doesn't seem like it will make sense.
Right. Because even when they talked about it, like, early on in the earlier seasons, because that I think that was one of the questions that came up, was like, as things started deteriorating, because remember they talked about how the walkers changed and all these other things. So you had it from being technically like a smart walker to being now this thing that only reacts to sound and smell, basically.
Sound, smell, and light.
And now you want it to now be able to climb a fence, be able to open the door, be able to reanimate after 30 seconds and go beat on the door.
See,
make that make sense. Unless it's something in the French water. I don't know.
But we ain't in France.
I'm talking about From the World Beyond. Because remember, he shot that girl and she reanimated in less than 30 seconds.
I remember that.
And she got up and started beating on the door.
Like she knew, oh shit, this is not what's supposed to be happening. We've had that conversation. Right. I don't know. So, it just hasn't moved over to this part of the show because it was never relevant.
Yeah.
But
that's something they're gonna have to figure. They're gonna have to find a TV logical way to make it make sense.
Yeah.
Because people ain't stupid and they ain't gonna just be like, oh, now the walkers turn into World War Z walkers.
Girl. Hell no.
Because how?
Because I don't want them kind of walkers.
Hell, them walkers was dangerous.
I'm telling you.
Unless you were sick.
That's what I was about to say. The minute we had some World War Z walkers, my insulin is going in the trash. All of my meds are going in the trash. You know what? Kidney disease. Come on. Oh yeah, y'all going right past me. Okay. Good. No. The first time I saw that movie, and they were in the traffic and people were dying and they were what girl? I watched that movie and I don't think I've made that many noises and that many screeches and yelling and oh my God. No, I told my kids when we watched that movie, they were like, what would we do? What would we ever do if something's like that? I said, I'm going to tell y'all now. I said, your mommy loves you and I would do anything to protect y'all, but there's no way I can fight against that. We will be sitting in the living room singing Kumbaya, playing Russian roulette. No, I'm not dealing with those kind of zombies.
Hell no.
Those kind, So for them to try to put something like that, which I don't think is going to be to that extent. Like I said, I feel like there's going to be a plausible explanation, as plausible as it can be in a show about a zombie apocalypse. But it has to make sense, because if it doesn't make sense, if it's a stupid explanation or if it's cheesy, they have lost the fan base. And they're already struggling with that.
It better not be no. Yeah. It's definitely gonna have to be something where we're just like, okay, Okay, I can see that. I can see that.
Now, again, we're talking about the Commonwealth, okay? We're talking about 50,000 people. You can't tell me that Pamela Milton doesn't have a contingent of people trying to work on a cure. Or if it's not just her people, maybe her and the CRM.
And I was going to say, we don't know what contract, because you know she's a politician. We don't know what contract she got with the CRM.
No.
She may be the same way that I forget what the home base of the CRM was called. New York. New York? Was it New York? Yeah. You remember they had the experiments in the basement. So there's no telling what's going on in basements in the Commonwealth. Because as you see, it's a big ass property and we ain't even scratched the surface. We keep seeing the courtyard and apartments.
We're in the same little corner, very isolated from the rest of the community.
Because you keep in mind, there's this whole section where intake is, where they got the train cars. Train cars aren't small. So you got train car section. You got another section where they clearing out training. So it's so many sections. Oh, it's a lab somewhere on that property. Because you want the scientists, you want the smart people. Y'all curing cancer. Y'all removing cancer from people. Y'all are doing things. If you out here curing cancer, please trust and believe y'all out here trying to figure out how to get these walkers to act right.
Right. But of course, you know, sometimes in trying to find a solution, sometimes you find something that exasperates the problem and makes it worse. But yeah, so in that vein, I have not really paid any attention to anything about the variant walkers. I don't plan to. I'm like, we only have 8 episodes. I'm just gonna let
they're gonna have to explain it. They're gonna have to explain it.
I had to actually go on Twitter and filter out TWD spoilers, because when I tell you people were posting things 2 weeks ago.
What?
Yes.
See, I don't be on Twitter like that.
And some of it was speculation, but some of it was from people who, you know, went to some of the filming locations and that sort of thing. Starting to post, I was like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Like a couple of people posted some stuff supposedly about Rick. And, you know, we've heard our own rumors here.
Yeah.
You know, because we have been around people who are a little bit closer to that, you know, and have said some things. And I'm like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. If Rick is coming back for any of the last 8 episodes, I don't want to know. Because like I said before, if Rick Grimes shows up on my screen, especially if I'm not expecting it, I'm going to be full out ugly crying with snot bubbles included.
I passed out. Like,
I want to be that kind of surprise to where I'm hysterical and people are looking at me like, why the fuck is she acting like this over a TV show? That's the kind of reaction I want to have if Rick Grimes decides to grace my screen anytime in the next 7 episodes. Now, if he doesn't, I won't feel bad because I know I'm going to see him next year. And I just have to be patient. I done waited for this man for what, 4 years now? I can wait a little while longer.
I just say, if he show up, you know who else better show up. That's all I'm gonna say.
I just need them to come claim their children. I just need that.
I swear to God.
Because I know, even now, 11 years later, the reunion with him and Carl in the first season, that is still probably, look, I got goosebumps just mentioning it. That is still probably one of the best scenes for me ever in The Walking Dead.
Wouldn't it be so cute if they did that with Judah?
That's
the same episode, and then him finding out he got a son.
I need them to run to their mother and then see their father and Judith go up to him, because Judith is going to remember his face. But I need him to see RJ and lose his shit. That is what I need to see.
You already know. You already know.
So if I get that if I get this that at the end of this series, fine. If I don't get that until the Rick and Michonne show, fine. As long as I get it. But I will say this. I know you got your show. I will say this. I did read something yesterday because I did not watch. Actually, I did watch this week's last week, I should say, episode of Talking Dead. They canceled the one for this week, but I have been seeing like clips from some I've been seeing clips from some of the interviews. Angela Kang has said that the finale is not ending the way they originally intended for it to end. The ending has changed. I don't know what that means. It could mean something very little. It can mean something huge. I don't know. But she did say that the ending has changed. It could have changed because of the fact that Melissa is not doing the spinoff right now. And maybe they changed that. Because according to interviews I've seen her say, Carol's story is not over.
Right.
You know, she might have just decided, you know what, I've been doing this shit for 11 years. I just want to take a break.
Need a break.
I don't know. I mean, it's...
And for all we know, they could be throwing us the fuck off. And she gonna show up in them goddamn shows.
You know what? That's honestly how I feel. But part of me...
Because she probably had time to think about it and was like, you know, I can make this schedule work. I can do, you know, whatever.
Or they may change it to where she's a part of something else. My thing is, I would hope that if that's the case, maybe that they would kind of say something about it. Because when I tell you the fan base, I'm going to be particular. The Carolers, the ones who really want Carol and Daryl together, or the ones who are really pro Carol and fuck everybody else. They have been so ridiculously toxic on Twitter in everything that has to do with Melissa McBride.
Really?
Anything that they feel like she might be getting slighted for, oh, it's a personal attack. Oh, AMC is treating her wrong. Or, oh, Norman is being selfish and wanting the show for himself. And blah, girl, yes. They just announced that thing that you tagged me in today about them being in New York Comic Con. I saw something about that, I think, earlier this morning, because they're going to be doing Paley Fest. And I was like, all these things going on in New York, I want to go. But of course, we try to make sure we can get to LA. But of course, I just looked at the guest list and I was like, oh, okay, so this person's doing it. This person's doing it. Oh, Jeffrey Dean Morgan is doing it because he's already filming in New York. So why wouldn't he? So I didn't even realize that Melissa wasn't on the list.
Oh, somebody pointed it out.
I went on Twitter. And oh my God, I was like, you guys, y'all do realize that she has a life outside of Walking Dead and maybe she didn't feel like doing this shit? Or maybe she had something already planned for this weekend? Like, I think she's pretty much fulfilled her contract.
Yeah.
So at this point...
Nothing in the contract said you got to show up to the con.
I mean, at this point...
She gonna pull a Marshawn Lynch. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
But I mean, I could totally see it going the way that you did. Like, yeah, maybe they have something else in the works, but they're keeping it hush hush. They're making it mysterious. I don't have a problem with that.
Right. You don't need to know everything. Be surprised about something.
Go off in the sunset at the end of this show and never appear on Walking Dead again. As long as they give her character a proper send off, I'm good. If we see her show up again, I'm good. She may not be in the Daryl spinoff, but who's to say she won't show up where Maggie and Negan are? Who's to say she won't show up in the Rashawn show? Who's to say she won't show up in anything else? She may show up in Fear. She was talking about going on a bike ride with Daryl towards New Mexico, when she got to go past Texas to do that. She might look at that yellow fog and be like, yeah, you know what? I'm finna turn the fuck right back around. But it's not it's not unthinkable.
I am one of those people where I'm okay with no details. I'm okay with not knowing. I don't need a spoiler. I don't need, like, because even coming up back into the season, I watched the first trailer. I didn't watch anymore because I don't want too much. I want to be surprised by it. I don't know, oh, that's the scene I saw in the trailer. No, surprise me with something. I don't need to know everything. Let me have the authentic experience of, oh my God, I didn't know that was gonna happen. Oh, I don't want it to be mini spoiled like when Daryl had the gun.
That's why I filtered out the spoilers, because people were starting to spoil stuff. I'm like, y'all, the shit ain't even aired yet.
Yeah. So it's just like, I'm one of those people, even if it's just for different things I want to see, like even Black Panther. I watched the second trailer. I was like, okay, I'm not watching no more trailers.
I'm not watching nothing else.
I don't care what come out. I don't care. Like, I watched those 2 trailers. Okay, I'm good. I got enough for the story to know they're paying tribute to Chadwick, and we kind of know it's a new Black Panther.
Right.
But short of that, let me sit through the 2 hours and 29 minutes of the movie to get everything that I need in, and then I'll go back and look at the trailer like, okay, I remember that part. Okay, I remember that part. You know what I mean? I'm one of those kind of people.
Yeah.
Don't tell me nothing. I see the previews a couple times. Oh, I want to see that. Let me go see that. And and not just with a fandom movie, any movie. If I see a trailer that look kind of good, I'm okay. Because you can't, the trailer is never gonna give you all the information that you need. You gotta go see the movie anyway. At that point, you just speculate if you haven't seen the movie already. So it's like, I'll watch I'll watch the trailer. I may watch the same trailer over and over, but like one day and did you see the new trailer? Nope. Did you see the new trailer? Nope. Right. Did you see? Nope.
Right.
Because I want to live it as it goes through. And then, because even after seeing the trailer and you see the moments that you saw in the trailer as they played out, you're like, oh.
Yeah, it wasn't even what it.
Yeah, we know what we're talking about. So exactly. I was just like,
exactly.
So what was, you have now seen this trailer and you played this part in your mind. Oh, I know this means. And then when it happened, you like, because that's what I was.
But you know what? That's good editing, because that trailer drew you in. It made you say, "Oh, you know what? Damn it! I need to see. I need to see what's going on."
It did, but
not to say that the scenes were just, they could have kept that. No, it's just that the scenes have a very different context.
No, it served its purpose. It definitely served its purpose. But then, of course, in my mind, it opened up other questions like, so it did what it was supposed to do, but it also builds anticipation that something is about to happen. And you've played out a scenario in your mind, like, oh, this is what's going to happen. And then when it plays out, you're like, that ain't even what I thought was going to happen. I mean, you're glad you still got the information, but you like, they could.
And then you see something else that you thought was just like a regular thing. And when it happens on screen, you're like, oh shit, okay, that was not what I was expecting.
That part.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm half and half on trailers. I'm half and half on, because like I don't even like sometimes watching the previews for the next show, even though I want to know what's gonna happen.
Oh, I'm gonna watch the damn previews.
I will. I still watch it, but I won't watch anything else. You know what I mean? After that, because it's gonna tell me what's gonna happen, because you already know in your mind after you've seen what this is. Oh, some shit about to pop. Okay. So it gives you that anticipation, but I ain't gonna watch nothing else till the show come out.
I'll just say this, like I said, I don't want no spoilers. I don't want to hear any speculation anymore, aside from this kind of thing. But again, I don't really listen to other people talk about the show, especially if it's a particular episode that we haven't talked about yet. I don't listen to other people talk about it, because I don't want information from other people affecting how I see the episode. And then I don't want information from other people who may have inside knowledge as far as like, oh, we were there on filming for this scene, or we saw this person. I don't want to know that, because then I feel like I'm going to spend my whole viewing time anticipating something that may never happen, instead of paying attention to the story that's being told.
Right.
And that's what I'm here for. The story that you guys are telling now. The characters that we are dealing with now. Yes, I miss Rick. I miss Michonne. I want them back. You know what? I know we're getting them back now. I'm good. Right. I can focus on this and give my attention to the people who have stuck till the end and are still trying to tell us the story.
Right.
And I don't want to, I feel like when people spoil it, you take away from the hard work that the other people did. Like, why would you come and start posting pictures from, you know, the final episode or next to the last episode? Why would you do that?
Right.
Like, I understand the whole, oh, I have the scoop. Oh, I have something that nobody else had. I understand that. But why would you want to ruin that for everybody else?
Right. Just to say you did it first. So
yeah, I filtered out.
Oh, one thing I do want to talk about really quickly that we skipped, and it happened when Maggie said to Daryl she apologized about Leah, and he was like, "You don't have to apologize to me."
He was like, "Glenn would have wanted me to take care of you." When I tell you, I was like, y'all are not about to make me do this and cry. Like, oh, are we talking about Glenn? Let's not, please.
Yes, we are. Oh. We are. Oh.
I thought that was such a sweet scene.
Yes.
It was such a sweet scene. And there's actually a similar scene that happens in the next episode too, that I felt the same way about. I was like, okay, so y'all are mentioning these people from the past and just kind of making us understand that yes, these people are gone, but they are not forgotten. I was like, oh, that made me feel
full circle.
And he was like, you don't ever have to apologize. He was like, I got your back, you got mine. I was like, power couple in that sense, you know, as far as like, that's I like I said, I'm loving the pairings that they're giving us in this season, because, you know, Daryl and Maggie have always been close. Or they've always been really good with each other, but we were so used to seeing Maggie with Glenn and Daryl with Rick, or Daryl with Carol, you know, and Maggie with Sasha, you know, so it was kind of like we knew that they were friends and we knew that they were family, but you didn't really see them interact as much. And I love the fact that we're getting to see it now, because again, too, back then when we did see them being around each other a lot, like Maggie could handle herself, but she was nowhere near where she is now.
Oh, absolutely.
Because she has a different mindset now. You know, she's been out there in the world on her own, and she's seen even more horrible things than she dealt with when she was with the group. So her mindset has changed, and she can handle herself more. She's willing to do more. She's willing to get her hands a little more dirty than she probably would have a few seasons ago, you know. And Daryl is there to back her up. He's like, okay, this what you're doing? Okay.
Just let me know which way to go.
Right. As long I will say this, as long as that partnership does not endanger anyone else, because let's not forget, if it wasn't for Maggie and Daryl going behind Rick's back to try to kill Negan, none of that shit would have happened, and Rick would probably still be here. I'm just putting that out there. I still love Maggie. I still love Daryl, but a fact is a fact. So anyway, I love that dynamic. Again, Aaron and Gabriel, if Aaron and Gabriel don't get a spinoff, something is really wrong with the world, because I feel like we need one with them.
They both gonna die.
I'm not paying you no attention. I'm not paying you no attention. And I only know what you said because I barely heard it. If it didn't pick up on this recording, I'm not even gonna fix that. Let people wonder what the fuck you just said, because no, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Okay.
I need to see more of Negan and Carol together. And just you know, Jerry is like my heart. I just need to see Jerry in general. And then, you know, we saw a little bit of like Kelly and Connie and Magna in this episode, but not as much. So I'm hoping we get to see a little bit more of them as the episodes go on.
And they got moved to main cast.
Yes. Okay. So which is nice.
Absolutely.
Especially towards the end, that's nice.
Absolutely. The Black characters that didn't get killed off.
I mean, look, we still got some Black characters that are out there that we don't know where the fuck they are. We still don't know where Heath is. We just know that he's supposedly with the CRM. We don't know where the hell Virgil is. Like, I'm still trying to figure out, like, so what did y'all do with Virgil when y'all went to the, like, is he still in Alexandria? And if he is, who is he in Alexandria with? Because nobody from our group is still in Alexandria.
Maybe they left him in charge.
That Joker was still recovering from a stab wound to
I was just going to say.
Who he gonna be in charge of? He can't even walk. No. Yeah. They do need to answer some more questions. I will say that. But
as far 7 episodes to do it.
But as far as like spoiling me on stuff, I don't need spoilers. Just answer my questions. Just tell a good story. That's all I'm asking. Oh, and AMC, release the damn finale event information, please, and thanks.
So we can book our tickets.
Like, I've been saying this all over Twitter. You are doing a finale celebration the weekend before Thanksgiving, literally the travel weekend before Thanksgiving. Can we please get some information so some of us can book our tickets, because some of us are flying from way across the country.
Oh, I'm still gonna book a ticket anyway.
I am, but
I mean, we still gonna be there.
We still gonna be there, but
make it easy on us.
I gotta have some easy. Look, I gotta have some spending money when I get there. If I spend all my money on flight, I mean, think about where we're coming. When I say we are coming from across the country, we are in Atlanta. We are in the suburbs of Atlanta. At
least tell us what city it's in so we can book a room.
We know it's LA, but I need to know where. LA is a very big place.
I know.
I need to know where we're going to be.
I'm about to book our hotel.
We got to calculate.
Look, we gonna be on and we just gonna book us a flight, and we just gonna cross our fingers. Even if we don't make it into the event, even though we are making it.
No, I was about to say we will not speak. We will be there.
We just finna book our trip. We just gonna
I need to know, like, I don't even know if these are tickets you have to sign up for. I'm pretty sure you got to pay for them.
I don't give a damn.
I need to know this kind of stuff.
And I need a front row seat. So,
girl.
So yeah,
we'll talk about that off air, because we got to figure out all the logistics.
Look, I just want to see my book.
I know, and they did confirm that there will be cast members from all the way from the beginning up to the end.
I'm ready for it.
So and it was so nice going on Twitter.
Because wait, wasn't the last after was a season at the end of season
100th episode? They did it in a cemetery.
In a cemetery.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. But it was so nice to go on social media on Sunday and see like the people who have not been on the show in a while still posting about it being the last episodes, like Tom Payne, Jesus, he posted, Chandler Riggs posted. I was just like, oh, everybody's coming back to say
and
something.
keep in mind, we still have fear. Fear ain't going on.
Speaking of which, we need to make a road trip. Because Fear is right down the highway. It's filming in Savannah, which is about 3.5 hours from us. So we need to make a road trip at some point.
That we do.
And go try to see if we
need to figure out their filming schedule and
yeah. Yep.
I'm down.
So I'm trying to think. Is there anything else about this episode that I want to talk about? I'm trying to think. Huh?
The end.
Oh, yes. So Daryl, Maggie, Aaron, Gabriel, they're still evade. Oh, and Annie, they are still evading the Commonwealth soldiers, and they find a way into a storm drain. Now, while they're down there in the storm drain, they come across a couple of walkers, and they decide, hey, how about we bring them down here? So they set a trap. You know, they kind of they shoot off a few rounds on their guns, and they hide. And of course, some of the Commonwealth soldiers come down. They come out, surround the Commonwealth soldiers, and then all of a sudden, here comes Lance with his soldiers. So we got a face off. I'm telling you.
Because it ends right as Daryl grabs him, put that gun, put the knife at his neck, and he starts smiling. You little prick.
Okay, so when they're doing this face off, Daryl has taken Lance and he's holding a knife up to his neck. Haven't we talked about Lance and his facial expressions?
Yes.
Why is he smiling like a fucking maniac?
Because he
has a knife to your neck. And
a beta knife. The knife he used to stab beta eyeballs out. He got this big knife to your neck and you smiling.
And
even when
he ready to kill him.
Ooh. Even when he lose, he think he won. Hornsby. Even when he lose, he think he won.
He got the wrong people. He got the wrong people.
He has been able to fool so many people for so long.
Mm-hmm. But he got the wrong folks.
Yeah, he do.
Because Daryl, I'm gonna be honest. I was very, very surprised when Daryl started shooting them in the alley, and he only caught Lance by the shoulder. I was like, Daryl, you know you can shoot better than that. Like, stop being a fucking cat. Stop being a fucking cat with a mouse. Stop playing with your food.
He was playing with his food.
Stop playing with your food and get this shit done. We tired. We want to go home. We want to make sure Annie gets somewhere safe, because I do not need her pregnant ass to be out there. I don't. But I tell you, these tensions between our group and the Commonwealth, and again, it seems so right. But I mean,
it's only the beginning.
And it just seems like I kind of worry for them, because like we said, the Commonwealth is 50,000 people. We've only seen a portion of that. So what happens if the rest of the Commonwealth, like, I don't even know how that's structured. Like, we only ever see Pamela on this side. I don't know what's on the other sides of the Commonwealth. Do you have a section of the rich and, you know, the people who are living a little bit more well off, or is it industry? Like, do you have it split up like the Hunger Games? Like, what is going on in Commonwealth? And how is that going to affect our people? Because again, they've only been around this particular portion. Now, granted, it is the portion where the mayor is or the governor is, but you got a whole bunch of other people to deal with. So unless this is that's the area where you've been taking all these folks that you've been sending down to get money for, you know, and they're not coming back. Because I mean, yeah.
The veil is about to be ripped off. So,
well, that's kind of what happens when our people get the
place. We said that. Okay, just let nothing be nice. We just can't have shit nice.
This is why we can't have nice things.
That's exactly why.
But again, I mean,
because they
just don't want the bullshit.
They don't.
Like, look, we have survived basically a pandemic. You have survived the pandemic that wiped out probably 75% of the world. Why are we going back to the same bullshit that probably contributed to that in the first place? Why go back to the lies and the scheming and the politics? And why? Did you not learn your lesson? And I mean, we even said that with World Beyond, with the CRM. Like, why would you go back to the same type of system that caused society to collapse in the first place? Not just society, the world probably. I mean, the ending of World Beyond, that was in France. So we know that the zombie apocalypse that extended across international waters. Why would you want to go back to that same thing?
Crazy. No other explanation.
We'll see. We'll see. Mm-hmm. You have any final thoughts on this episode?
I'm glad The Walking Dead is back.
I am.
I love the opening montages with the flashbacks. They're giving me life.
And the opening theme song is even different. The intro is different.
Yes.
Like the music is a little bit different, and then you get to see Hilltop, and you get to see Ali. I was like, oh, and here's the thing. So I was up at 3:00 in the morning when the episodes dropped because I had insomnia the night before. So my sleeping schedule was so ridiculously fucked up. So I was up at 3:00 and I was so ready to watch the episodes that when it dropped, I literally skip intro because I was like, I don't need to see this. I need to get to the intro. So I didn't even realize anything changed until after I watched the 2 episodes. And I was like, okay, I'll watch it in the morning because I was so eager to get to. I was like, okay, I've seen this. I've seen this intro
a million times.
Right. I didn't realize it changed.
Yeah.
I was just ready to get into the intro. And then when I saw how they changed it, I was like, okay.
I see what you did there. Mm-hmm. I see what you did there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like y'all just gonna y'all like coming in like feel it here. Yeah, feel it here. Okay.
You're right at your heart.
Right at my heart. That's okay. I liked it.
Absolutely.
I got nostalgic. I got a little sad a little bit.
We on our roller coaster. We chugging up the look. We chugging up. And then we gonna get right before the drop. And then once we drop, it's gonna.
I don't know if I'm ready. Because like I said, I'm fully expecting some of our people have to die. You shut your mouth. You shut your mouth. I don't want to speculate on who. And you know what? Honestly, if nobody major dies, I won't be mad. I know some people be like, that's not realistic. Fuck realistic. I want all my people to get out of this live. And if they do, I will be happy. But I'm trying to prepare myself for the worst.
You already know my prediction, so.
Shut up. I'm not. And on that note, that's it for our show. You can find us online at www.fandomhybrid.com. We are on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Fandom Hybrid. We have a Discord channel at Fandom Hybrid. You can watch our videos on YouTube and listen to us on all major podcast streaming platforms. Thanks for listening. We hope you join the conversation next time.